So we are now recording the September 29th, 2017 Small Business Accounting Advisor. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
How are we?
Nice to see everybody again.
Good to see you, Peggy. So, Peggy, you were telling us you are overwhelmed.
I think it's a mental thing, trying to get that focus back after being with so much going on in a month's time, between traveling for graduation, getting back, trying to get on board, then boom, all of a sudden I have to evacuate because we have this huge storm coming our way, and then I'm back, and then 9 days without electricity, and it was like, oh my gosh, I tried to get some things done without it, but it's just not the same. I was able to get a lot of studying done because I'm trying to get my certification, bookkeeping certification by the end of the year. But I'm like, that part of me that was focused on trying to bring in new clients and everything, it's kind of hard to get back. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, give me an application.
Back on track. Well, we have been talking about two things that I think that will help you.
Okay, I'm writing.
Wunderlist and momentum.
Wunderlist.
Well, you saw where Microsoft's going to kill it, didn't you?
Pardon?
You saw where Microsoft's going to phase it out, right?
What, the momentum?
Wunderlist.
Oh, really? Why? Because it works so easily.
Yeah.
What's Wunderlist?
Well, Microsoft is replacing it.
Simple to-do list.
Oh.
Super, super easy to use. Integrates with your Google Calendar. Integrates with Momentum, which Dennis is using.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps, Dennis says it helps him keep his focus.
Yep.
And so when it started working good for you, Dennis, Microsoft want to phase it out.
Oddly enough, I live about maybe 25 miles from Microsoft. I've been over to their campus many times.
Go pound on their door and tell them not to do it, please.
Yep.
Exactly.
Well, they're developing some other program, and so they're going to phase it out, but they haven't said when. So I'm just figuring out, when I could.
So
by phasing it out, does that mean you're not going to be able to use it again, or does this?
Well, I'm not sure because it's web based. So unless they I'm thinking unless they pull down the website, it'll still be there. But I don't know.
Let me tell you something there, right quick. I'm sorry, guys. Let me tell you something right quick.
Okay, well, yeah, that's because I really loved Wunderlist. Simple, simple, simple.
I know, I understand that technology is something else, but I think stuff like this work even better because they can phase that out.
That's why I like Wunderlist. It's the first thing that I was able to use I had a whiteboard, and it took the place of my physically writing on my whiteboard.
Right.
You know what I've been using, sort of, and I kind of stopped, and now I'm trying to get back onto it. I've been using Trello.
I heard of that one.
Okay, well, see, to me, I use Trello all the time. Trello is like a whiteboard. Mm-hmm. Trello I use for my project management. So I have people that work for me, and I give them clients, and they have a board that has that client's name. And every month they have a checklist of things that they need to do. Reconciling, and I write out everything, every bank account, every credit card account, every liability account that needs to be reconciled at the end of the month, as well as, downloading and coding transactions. And I have it set up so that the checklist are per week.
Oh, okay.
So every week I'm going to be downloading and entering the transactions, and whatever else I need to do. And then I have monthly tasks that are, the reconciliations and making sure that the profit and loss or the reports that I put out and send out to the clients. And I put notes in there, anything that, special requests from the clients or deadlines that need to be done by certain times, sales tax payments kind of things go there. But I use Wunderlist for me personally. So how I use Wunderlist is a general, I need to go to this client and work on it. That will be all that's in my Wunderlist, and then I need to go to Trello to do the details.
Oh, okay.
So that keeps my to-do list a little bit shorter, but Wunderlist also allows me to mix my personal and business, because we all work for ourselves here, and you know how that gets confused. I mean, we do have the opportunity of doing personal things during the week, in the middle of the week, as long as we schedule everything around it. So I'm able to keep track that way.
That's how it's supposed to work.
That's how it's supposed to work.
You mean you schedule clients around your personal stuff?
Sure, why not? That's what I do.
Some days I just do my own thing.
Well, I'm learning to do more balance. I'm just,
That's the key right there.
Yeah.
Finding that balance.
Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to do. That's where I'm trying to. I can get lost in work. There is always work to be done, always something that I can be doing, but I am taking the time to spend time with family. I've put that higher on my priority list now. Right. Things come up sometimes suddenly, and that's just, I have to make a choice. What's more important to me? What's more important to me is my family now.
Right.
Yeah, you don't find time, you make time.
That's right. That's right. And I've come to the conclusion that someone else's lack of preparation does not constitute an emergency on my end.
Nice. I like that.
I have had to really work that this week because extensions are due. I don't do taxes like you and Dennis and Misha. I'm the before the taxes get done. So
right.
The books need to be clean. And there were certain clients that I actually fired last year because I was tired of the week before the extension is due getting a telephone call saying, can you help me out? And they've got to clean up a whole year's worth of stuff. To me, I don't understand that. We're 3/4 of the way through the year this year, and they're getting a surprise when they go to their accountant for 2016 because they don't have all the information, so they don't know what they're going to be doing. They don't know what kind of taxes they're going to be paying. And now we're halfway through 2017. There's very little time to make any difference in what they're doing to impact taxes. So I really don't like working that way. But again, they call me up.
Well,
I like them a lot as people. I feel bad. So, okay.
And you fired them.
But I fired them last year, but they're back again. They don't stay fired is what my point is.
Well, that's the nice thing about, being self-employed.
I remember you telling us that story, and I said, they will be back.
You know what? I finally partied with that one guy I was telling you guys about. I did that. I was like feeling some kind of way about it, but at the same time, I think I pissed him off because I sent him a really kind email saying, okay, here's what I need you to do. We finished off. I finished up to June for you like I promised. I need you to take me off your bank account access, and I need you to pick up the receipts I do. And he was so angry with me. Why are you angry? We've been talking about this for months.
Exactly.
Because he didn't think you were gonna follow through.
Well, he comes to me, he was like, well, my son is gonna do it for free. He's in Fort Lauderdale, which is like 45, 50 minutes from us. He's in Fort Lauderdale. He's gonna do the work for free. You cost too much anyway. Ooh, wow.
Okay, yeah, let's have your son do it. What is the saying for that? You think I'm expensive now?
Wait.
Wait until I have to clean up someone else.
even if he gets to the point where he wants to come back, I don't want him.
And you know, that's,
I don't want him.
To decide. Yeah.
you have to decide that. You have to decide that. And I, you know, number one, I did fit them into my schedule, and my schedule was busy this week. But I fit them in because I had time.
Right.
I had time to do it. If I did not have time, then I would have referred them out to someone else. And then when I talked to them, instead of saying, I'm not going to do this anymore, that's it, find someone else, I talked to them and I said, you know, we've been doing this dance for how many years?
Right.
It's not fun for you. It's not fun for me. What are we going to do to change this? And I kind of took more of a Deb Kilsheimer thing with it, instead of saying, if this happens, then that's going to happen. I gave them choices.
Yeah.
We can do this or we can do this. When do you want to talk to me again?
You can get with this,
Are you?
or you can get with that.
Well, you know, I made $1,500 with the guy that called me the first week of September, and he had a whole year of data to get in, and he hadn't even set up his QuickBooks data file yet. And so I sat down and I looked at it. Turns out he had one checking account that was 2 to 3 pages of transactions a month, and he had one credit card account that was like 1 page a month. And we got it done in a week, no problem, with him and I both working on it. I got him on QBox and we both worked on it, and it was all done. And then his accountant took it into a newer version to do the taxes. But he didn't take the QBox. He restored the taxes and took it to a newer version. But
Gave him a portable file or what?
I know I sent him a regular backup.
Oh, okay.
So all you need to do is journal entries then to catch up your clients.
I don't have a copy of it, so, and I probably won't ever get it. So then he can get whoever to do it. I'm trying right now to get the QBox moved over into his name. So he disappeared after he got everything in and he got his taxes done. So.
Did you get yours first?
It's okay. He had paid me, so I wasn't worried.
That's what counts.
So, yeah, as soon as they get what they want, they're disappeared and not there for another year. And you know.
I would work with him again because he did what he said he was going to do.
Right, and that's important.
And you never know that until you actually work with someone.
Right.
He did. He was funny because the first day I went up to where he is, I had to drive for an hour to get to his place. And I worked with him for 5 hours to start with, to get him all set up and started. And I said his keyboard wasn't working. I said, well, maybe it needs a new battery. He goes, oh, that's not the problem. He said, I put brand new batteries into my mouse and my keyboard before you came. And I thought, wow, now that's planning ahead. So, yeah, no, he was fun to work with. He did a good job.
The funny
Super
part about
nice guys, and you know they're not trying to get over on everybody. They're overwhelmed. They don't want to do the accounting stuff. So you know, I try and talk to them like, you know, do you want to make your life easier? Or do you want to continue to do this? If you continue to do what we've always done, you're going to get the same results. If you want different results, we have to do something different.
Right. Like this one lady said, if you'll never do nothing new if you don't try anything new.
That's
like,
right.
oh, that's true.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
But that same guy, he knows. I work at the local municipality during the day, so I'm there where they do the business planning, the bids for property, this, that. So you know, stuff that I would do without even charging or whatever. He called and asked me about it. I checked on it or whatever because he is my client. I go that little extra mile for him. I think he forgot that we are no longer working together because he's called me asking me, oh, did they do the bid on this property? But you need to come and check on that.
You know why? Because you're not charging them for it.
Right.
As long as you keep giving him answers.
Oh no, he don't get answers now. Now he's starting to feel the difference between when we were working together. You know what I'm saying? Because you had these extra perks. You call me up, you say, I need something notarized or whatever. This was an extra perk for me being your bookkeeper. But now you're saying your son gonna do it. Don't need notarized papers? What? That's just, look, I can't help you. You know, I'm busy doing something else. And I'm very nice, but I'm always nice. And that's hard. Because I really want to go that other way.
You know what? You got to kill them with kindness.
Exactly, right? That's so hard.
I recently was talking to my clients about, we were working on they had to fire somebody from the office, and I got them a termination letter, and we were, going through all of the steps and everything. And I said, they're like, oh, I just don't know, the firing part, I just don't like it. It's so emotional. And I'm like, with a straight face, I'm like, but that's why you pay me the big bucks. I get to fire people. And I can do it with a smile. I'm like, get your stuff and get out. But again, it's do it with a smile. I mean, sometimes I've been delivering the worst news and I say it with a smile. Folk think I'm like, because they're focused on that smile, and you're like, yeah, but you know what? I don't want to ever talk to you ever again. And like, you got, and make sure, well, I have dimples, but I'm like, I flash them the dimple and I'm like, get out. Just get the hell out.
No, I don't believe that. Oh my God, that's just so crazy. You just.
No, I do agree.
You
You have to be nice, but you have to be firm.
Yeah.
When I was working at WAMU, I had a feeling that I might get, we used to call it going POCO, pursue other career opportunities. And I just had canvas shopping bags at my desk. And so I started taking stuff home because we were having some layoffs. And so finally I came home with a couple shopping bags full and said, guess what?
Time to be, yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy because I thought I'd get thrown out that day, but oddly enough, they kept me around. But no one wanted to learn my job. And so I thought, well, I'm not taking this job with me. So I just kind of sat on the phone and just talked to people on the phone for the last couple of days.
Right.
So what they gonna do, fire you? Yeah.
They eliminated my job.
Right.
But I was doing stuff for other people. And so I was still getting emails until they shut it off, asking where my reports were.
Mm-hmm.
So working for big companies is not a lot of fun.
I really want to work for myself. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'm very realistic. I went back to school because they were bypassing me for the good jobs, the big jobs. So knowing that I qualify for these jobs, however, after about a year of getting into it, I'm like, you're doing this for you, not because that's what they did, And so when I finally finished, our assistant finance director told me point blank, not congratulations, Peggy. I'm very proud of you, blah, blah, blah. But I don't need a degree because I have 30 years experience. I said, well, fully for you.
Just don't get laid off.
Wow.
That's my problem right there. That's what I worry about, right? They only need 2 more months. Just give me my 2 more months. My retirement be set in. Or we can go our separate ways. Don't fire me before my 2 months are up. I promise I'll be good.
Hopefully they're not watching this.
Exactly, right?
We're not that popular, Dennis.
Pardon?
We're not that popular.
Yeah.
Really, right?
Let's go back to our to-do list. Dennis, you put a link in with the article that says Wonderlist is going away. I was on a webinar with Christy Monahan today, and she was talking about the apps that she used. And one of the apps that looked good to me was called, and I have no idea about this app, only that I'm going to be looking at it. Yanado, Y-A-N-A-D-O. And she said that you put it over top of your email, and it can turn emails into to-dos.
Oh.
So yeah, I
How do
am
you spell
looking
that?
for a good CRM, you know, and I don't want Nimble. I don't want Zoho.
Check out Dubsado.
I'm actually trying out the results, but to me,
Have you tried Insightly?
I haven't tried Insightly.
Add Insightly to your list of checkouts.
Okay.
Joanne's been using it, and she said that she literally switched from 17 Hats to Insightly.
Wow.
Okay.
Because you remember Joanne was all gung-ho about 17 Hats.
All right.
And she literally transitioned from 17 Hats to Insightly. And
Okay.
she was raving about it. So that might be one. I tried doing it, but I'm not there yet. But the integrations are off the chart.
Great.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What
See, I
was the name
kind
of the
of
one
want a combo of what I'm doing now with Wunderlist and Trello. That's working for me. But I would like to be able to get an email and then just turn it into a to-do and have a reminder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that actually is what Insightly does.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, so
we
you
will-
can, and you connect it right into your Gmail and everything, and you can convert leads to actual clients to actual, she was telling me about it, and I'm like, oh, wow.
all that.
I have it. I started,
Come on.
yeah, I
What is-
started using it, but I haven't gotten into it as much. I've been so busy with some other stuff. So.
The thing about it, they have all these new apps that are supposed to be so wonderful for you, but they don't tell you just how much time it takes to.
Well, CRMs are one of those that are notorious that you have to, I mean, to get anything out of anything, of course you have to put everything into it. But it's so time consuming.
Right.
If you have 100, well, I'm just going to use a round number, 100 clients, to go in and enter all of that information is very time consuming.
So wouldn't it be
Import some of them, sometimes you can import from QuickBooks, and that cuts down some of that, but you still have to touch each one. Is it a customer? Is it a vendor? You know what I mean? There's still some information that you have to go in and put in.
Yeah.
Can you use an Excel spreadsheet to import into
Well, each are different, and I'm sure that you could, but again, it's manipulation and it's time consuming.
Right.
Time consuming to get that information together. And then once you're there, if something else comes along that's better, you're not even going to look at it because it's taken so much and you've got so much invested in it. And
That's
you
the way
better
I'm
hope they stay in business and don't get bought up by Microsoft so they can be thrown away.
Well, that's kind of the way I'm with Zoho right now. I looked at Nimble, but I thought, well, if you start thinking of your time as money, you know, how much money are you going to spend to learn this, and you know, when's it going to start paying off on rate of return?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Gina.
Yes.
So Insightly connects to, you have CRM for Google, CRM for Microsoft, MailChimp, QuickBooks, Xero,
Nice.
Slack, Zapier, PandaDoc,
That's your fave too, that PandaDoc.
Box, Dropbox, Microsoft OneDrive, Boomerang, Google Drive. Let me show you. Like the connections that Insightly has, all of these.
Wow.
So if you're using any of this stuff,
I wonder what Wishpond is.
Which one?
That's a lot.
Wishpond.
Wishpond. I missed it.
That's
Right
cute.
in the center with the panda.
Oh, it's right there.
Oh, okay.
I think the reason, you know why I didn't see it? Because it was black and white. Isn't that crazy? All the colors, the ones that are colorful popped out at me.
Yep.
I didn't even see this one either.
The support fee.
So
But yeah, so these are all of the apps that are connected. You can use it on mobile. There's a mobile app for it.
I think that should be a given now at this point.
Yeah. So you can literally, and actually, I don't think the pricing was too outrageous. It's pretty, you can do up to 2 users for free. Again, you may not get all of the connections, but even on I think once you do the paid plan, you're able to get a little bit more than before and stuff.
Darn. I'm gonna go. I can't mute myself.
Oh, okay, Linda. Let me see. Hang on a second. Linda, I muted you.
But in terms of the pricing, you have, depending on what you're trying to do, you might get it in the free, the basic, or the plus. And I want to say something going on with I think the one that they're using is the professional one, because it allows the automation and it has team stuff. Because Joanne has staff people and stuff like that, so that one might work. And then you have your the number of emails and leads and all of that stuff that can happen.
Okay.
Like you can sync it with your calendar and your contacts and a whole bunch of different things.
Nice.
Dennis,
nice.
would that help you out better than Wonderlust or whatever the name of it is?
Wonderlist? Wonderlist is free. But
she doesn't use Insightly. That's something that I mentioned.
No, I'm saying Dennis saying that they're gonna phase Wonderlust out. So would that be a good program to replace Wonderlust?
It sounds like it would, and be a little bit more. What I liked about Wonderlist is it's just so simple. When an idea comes and you can just break down one sentence and that's your to-do, and put it in and put it wherever it needs to go. It has an inbox, so you can just sit down while you're thinking, today I need to do A, B, C, D, and you can quickly type them out and then put them where they need to be.
Yeah, I bought the professional version. I think it's like $5 a month, but it allows subtasks and some other things,
Right. Okay, one more thing I want to say about that is Trello. You were talking about Trello, Misha. They now have a Windows app. I tried installing it on my computer and could not install it. It only works with Windows 10. So I had to put
Window for your desktop?
On my desktop.
Oh, I haven't seen. You know what? I switched to G Suite for email, so I may or may not get that email. It's somewhere buried. Because I'm sorry.
Windows has an app for your computer now, a Windows PC app, but you have to have Windows 10. Otherwise, you can't use it. Only written for Windows 10.
And you have
I have
7.
I have an 8.1, and I have a laptop that's Windows 10.
Okay.
So I did put it on my laptop.
Yeah, I did upgrade to the Windows 10, so I'll try. I haven't been in there in a little bit, but I have my boards for each of my clients, and I'm able to kind of keep track of certain things in that area. So
go to the Windows Play Store and look for that app for Trello.
Not for your mobile phone, but for your desktop?
For your desktop.
What?
If you're going to do it for a mobile phone, you have to have a Windows phone.
Well, no, I think they do have an app for
They have that, because I have the app on my phone. The app is on my phone.
Android?
Misha is Android.
I'm Android. I'm not. However, I might be switching to Windows. I might be switching to Apple.
Uh-oh.
I'm thinking about doing that too.
My LG phone that I've had for less than a year, actually it was a year on the 24th, last week, almost 2 weeks now, it froze and then it literally shut itself off. And I lost all of my contacts because stupid AT&T was backing it up before, and then they stopped the service. So, and I couldn't get it to stay on long enough to back everything up in Google.
Wow.
So I lost all of my pictures from the conference, all of that, everything.
Wow.
Everything.
Oh, Oh my God, that makes
Yes.
Oh.
So I am now going to be purchasing a 32 gig SD card, and everything is going to be saved on the SD card. I'm not even dealing with that anymore. But they sent me a replacement phone, but I got the replacement phone, put the battery in, and the phone was like way hot. So I'm thinking I need a new battery as well, and a new tempered glass screen protector. I went on the LG website to get my battery for my phone. They are out of stock. No AT&T stores have the battery because they only stock current models, which is the V20, V30. Yeah. So I'm considering switching the business phone to an Apple.
And no, girl.
I'm thinking about doing that too with my Samsung.
I like that Samsung. See, I went to eBay and got the Note 4, and then I turned around and got the Note 5. I haven't moved up any further than that because right now I just love my baby. I mean, I love my Note 4.
You know what? That's what I got too, Peggy. I got the S5, and the battery went bad, and I went and got a big battery. It made my phone fat, but that's okay.
I haven't had any problems with it. The only reason I went and bought a new phone is because my daughter's S5 was messing up, but she had it for 3 years or so, and I wanted her to have a new phone. She was taking too long, so I went and bought me a new phone and gave her the S4.
Got it.
Note 4. I mean, but that was my first time owning a Note. I love it. I love it. The Note 4 is good. So
nice.
I think Apple is overrated.
I want to switch gears, and I want to give Linda a chance to talk about her accountant changes problems before we end today. Oh, I'm sorry, Linda. Wait a minute. You're muted. I have to unmute you.
I had to leave because I couldn't get the menu. So thank you for muting me. I have an S6, and S6s you can't get to the battery. You can't put an SD card in. You can't get to the battery. And I thought the iPhones were like that. I thought you couldn't put an SD card in there either.
Yeah, I have a Galaxy S6, and it is it's sealed. I can't open it at all.
I went straight from the S5 to the Note.
I just have to charge it twice a day now. So I carry an extra little battery so I can charge it because it doesn't last all day. But it's almost 2 years old. So
I think the reason your phone's not lasting all day is either you're running your location, your GPS is if you're running your GPS all day. So you might want to turn that off. That'll suck the battery. But you can turn on the extra power pack that they have, the battery saver.
I've done that too. But
turn that on.
It's just really odd because what I don't understand is every time that I use the phone, I go back over to the screen where you close all the apps, but it doesn't matter. The apps run anyway, even though they're all closed.
So this is the Galaxy S6. See how there's no way to open it. It's like how the iPhones are. There's no way to open it.
Right.
Put in a battery. So you either buy a 64 gig or whatever gig, and that's how they did the S6.
Yeah. So once the battery goes, you're dead in the water. You have to buy.
Pretty much, you got to get a new phone.
They did that on purpose. And it sounds like if it's over 2 years old, it could be the battery going bad too.
I think it's just slowing down. And the thing that's really odd is, I think the phone was $600 or $800, and they have me paying $20 a month for it. So it's like I'll be 95 by the time I get.
Hey, Linda. I literally just made the last payment on this sucker. I got it 30 months ago.
It's time to break.
Oh, so that's why it went out.
No, this isn't the one that went out. This is the one I've had this is my personal phone.
Oh, got it.
And this one I've had. The only thing that broke on this is the power of the volume up button doesn't work. So I just use my headphones and use the power up and down. So that's really the only problem I've had with the S6. But if I were to upgrade anything, I would stay with the Android for the personal phone, and I would switch to Apple for the business phone, because I have this monster right here is the LG V10, and this thing is a beast. All those photos that I post on Facebook with me looking fabulousness, all with this little bitty camera right here. I tell you.
Amazing. But then aren't they all up on Facebook? If you posted them to Facebook, can't you get them back that way?
Not all of my photos I post on Facebook.
Oh,
I am not like that.
You lost all your photos? Did you check?
I lost all photos that were saved to the phone, because my 4 gig SD card filled, and it just started saving everything, and yeah.
And that's why, you know what, that is one of the main reasons I back my phone up to my computer every single month, because every month you're doing something different.
Yeah, but you know what though?
All up to, but then now Google doesn't seem to be taking over, because they tell me, oh, your Google photos are full. I don't remember posting anything on Google, so I go.
Because you have it automatically synced. It's synced. You should.
But all the pictures they said that I got on there, they're old. They're like 5 or 6 years ago. You know, well, where the new pictures at?
All I know is that I am not. When I get my new SD card, I'm going to get the biggest one I can.
Yes.
I am going to put everything on the SD card,
Right.
and I'm going to shut off the Google thing, because I don't want my stuff in the cloud there.
Right.
But I want it to be able to just take that out and have it. And
that's just a tip from me, to just make sure you just plug your phone in at least once a month and back that sucker up to your hard drive on your computer. Another thing is, I don't buy phones from the company, because number one, you pay that monthly payment for the insurance, but then if something happened to your phone, they still want another $100. Wait, what was all that money I just paid you for? Nothing may ever happen to the phone for at least 2 years or so. You done paid $7 a month for 2 years, or $10 a month for 2 years. And then your phone breaks and say, oh, we need $100. Wait, hold. Okay, if I need to pay you 2 years worth of phone insurance and then another $100, I will no longer use your service. I'm going to eBay. I paid for my Note 5, I paid $239.
Nice.
Okay, so now there's $5 I have I'm putting up every month, so that when the Note 5 go bad, I have enough to buy another phone. You know,
That's right. You're being your own bank account. That's what you're doing. You're being your own bank account.
My own insurance company.
Yep, exactly.
It's too much, really. Hey, can we get to that one question I had, though?
Question, go ahead.
About to Nisha and Dennis about the taxes, about how often does Upcom allow you to file an extension? And I'm asking because I know somebody, her and her husband have a company, and they haven't filed taxes since 2015. But she said that she makes sure they file an extension. How long can they go doing that?
The extension expires on October 15th of the year they file. Okay. For example, it only lasts for 6 months, and then it says if you never filed an extension.
So you only get to 6 months. There's no extension on it.
You don't extend the extension. It's 6 months from the due date. If the due date is April 15th, it's 6 months, 6 months automatic extension. So the newest deadline is October 16th this year, because the 15th is a Sunday. So for 2016, tax returns are due. Those are for personal returns.
Happened last
I'm going to
month.
need that Sunday too.
Now, depending on how their business is registered and how they file for their business, if they're a corporation, corporate tax returns were due March 15th.
I thought they changed the C Corp.
No, wait.
And then
again, that just changed up, so my brain isn't even.
The C Corp is October now, but the S Corp and partnerships are still September 15th.
For the extension. For the extension.
Extensions were, I know I had to do corporate extensions C Corp extensions on the 15th of
Okay.
September.
No,
All right.
I
So
think
while they're thinking that they're okay and they're doing okay, they're really not doing okay.
what tax year are you talking about?
She said, I asked her
2015.
when was the last time they filed, and she said the last time they filed was in 2015.
So
Yeah,
if she filed an extension in 2015
I
for
don't know
that,
about the extension. She said she always filed the extension because I said at least you guys are filing extensions if
but
you're not.
that's what I'm saying. And for tax year 2015,
Right.
the extension deadline was October 15th, 2015.
Okay.
If they did not file their tax return by that time, they're now going to be hit with additional penalties and failure to
Plus-
file, and the IRS could actually file the return for them, and yada yada yada.
They might be able to get first time abatement if this is the first time this has happened.
If that's the first time.
I don't know. Well, I'm telling her.
Can you hold on a second?
Well, I want to get to Linda's question before we end.
I'm
Oh.
sorry, Linda.
That's all right. I've just been watching the clock, so it's been 10 minutes, so it's okay. We still have 13 minutes left before she has to shut us down.
Right.
All I really wanted to say was when you make the accountant's copy and you send it to the accountant, and then the accountant works on it, sends it back. One of the things you want to be very careful to look for, because I spent 3 hours trying to do this on 3 different days, and yesterday I spent 2 hours. What happens is, and this I'm sure you're all familiar with, when you go to back something up and it asks you, do you want to add the name, the day and the time to the name of your file, or do you want to just keep the file the same and you just have one name and you overwrite every time? Okay?
What are you doing? Where are you? Where? What are you doing?
I think Misha needs to be muted.
Well, I don't understand.
Sorry.
You didn't hear me start about making accountant's copy and sending it to the CPA?
Who are you talking to?
I don't know.
I think she's talking to someone on the phone.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay. Yeah, that's confusing as all get out.
Are you with, wait a minute, are you with us, Misha? You talking on the phone?
No, what's going on?
Who were you talking to? Were you talking to me?
No, I muted myself.
Oh,
Okay, I'm sorry. We heard you talking and you said, what are you talking about? So sorry. You know, I almost
You're
am beginning
muted now.
to think maybe this isn't a good idea to talk about because it's,
The accountant's changes?
yeah, what happened is I made an accountant's copy. I sent it to the accountant. Then she made changes and sent them back. Now what happened is she had allowed QuickBooks to change the name of the file and to add the date and the time to the file. So when I went to import the changes, it would not import because she had allowed the name of the file to be changed. And I didn't know that. On the computer, I was working on a server and a monitor that were sitting on the floor in the office I was working in, because that's the way servers are. They don't have servers at desks and everything where you can work on them easily. And so she had changed the name and let QuickBooks add the day and the time. And it just totally threw me because she never said, oh, by the way, I let QuickBooks do this. She acted as if I had done it. When I sent it to her, I had sent it with the name of it, and I hadn't. And I had a copy on my desktop which showed that I hadn't changed it. And so I couldn't, then I had to send her our file using ShareFile. And she couldn't import it either. And she couldn't import it because it had a different name. And she was the one who had changed the name, or had allowed the name to be changed by accident.
Yeah, it sounds like she didn't know that she did that.
She had no clue. It didn't occur to her. And then she, after she turned it into a regular file again and lost everything we had done, and so we're going to re-enter everything we had done, I imported it, and I kept saying, there's something wrong here. This isn't the right file. She was sending it to me yesterday. Yesterday was the 28th, and it was at 3:30 in the afternoon. And I said, this isn't the right file. This file says it's September 19th at 11 in the morning. Finally, she says, oh, no, that's the name of the file that you sent to me. And I said, no, I sent you a file named Sea Glass. And she had been unaware, and so that's why it wouldn't import. It had a different name.
So is this a setting that happens when you create the accountant's copy?
No, because the other one, it didn't do it to. And yeah, so it had something to do with when she made the accountant's changes. That's when the name of the file got changed.
She couldn't change the name of the file and take the date and time off of it and then have it import?
She could have, but I didn't put two and two together because
Until after it was all done. Okay.
an hour later, all of a sudden I went, oh my God, the file had a different name.
Oh, got it. Yeah, you're always behind the scene when they don't tell you things.
The thing that was odd about the server, whoever had set up Windows Explorer, Windows File Explorer on that server where I'm copying things from share file and downloading, and it goes into the download folder, and then you have to move it from the download folder over to the folder where it belongs in order to open QuickBooks, and for QuickBooks to find that file, you can't leave it in the downloads folder. That doesn't work. So it took me like an hour to do that part because the way the File Explorer was set up, it kept cutting off the part of the name that had the day and the time. So I didn't see that. So I didn't see that it had a different name. And it was like it never occurred to her. She knew it had a different name, but it never occurred to her to say anything about it.
Right, right.
So I'm just, and I went over there. I drove 15 minutes each time to go there, tried to do the work, and then left because one time when I called her, she wasn't available. Another time I called her, there was something else. Finally, the third time we worked it out. But so I would just say, check real careful. And the way you can tell this is when you go to, I do backups a lot, and I back up to a desktop, and then I just send what I back up to the desktop up to share file, okay? But when you do that, and you set that backup up, you can set it up to save any number of backups if they add the day and time to the backup, or you can just say, don't add the day and time. And there's good reasons to do it either way. Whichever way you do it, you just want to be aware that, oh, I do it this way.
Got it.
And let the other person that you're working with know that. See, I never let it add the day and time.
And to be honest with you, no client that I know of would ever even consider thinking that that was something they would need to tell their bookkeeper. You know that as a QuickBooks expert.
Well, I always set it up so that they back it up the way I have it all memorized.
Right.
But I hadn't worked with the CPA before, and she knew that particular one was rough because we have 3 data files, and there was a Clint's personal data file and a Sea Glass data file. And what he did was he mixed up his entities, him as a personal person loaning money to a cousin to rehab and flip a house, and his corporation, he takes his money and he buys houses, rehabs them, flips them, and sells them. And he had mixed 2 of them up between the 2 files, and it was kind of a big mess. And so because she works with that all the time, I thought I'll send her copies of the file, let her do the stuff back and forth between the 2 files. And he's going to now try to be careful that if he wants to use money from his personal account, he's going to transfer it to the business account and then pay from the business account. Because otherwise I have to do journal entries. This money was loaned to this company, and then I have to show it coming in and all that, and it just gets real complicated. I'm going to actually try to increase them to like $1,500 a month, I think.
And ask them if Q-Box is an option.
Yeah, definitely. There's going to be Q-Box or not. So.
Right, right, because if ever there was a case for Q-Box, this sounds like it.
It should be an excellent case for Q-Box, I think. I'm ready to do that, so.
Right.
Anyway.
Alrighty, well, I'm going to end in about another minute. I want to say again that I had so much fun with Ada Bartlett last week that I'm
Good.
going to be bringing her on October 20th. We'll be talking Google Forms. We'll be making a form for our group. We'll be able to play a little bit. And I'll show you what happens with the responses, how to get the responses into an Excel or Google Sheets file, and then the fun things that you can do with it after you do that. So looking forward to that.
Thank you, and have a great evening and weekend.
Thank you. And we'll see everybody same time, same place next week.
Got it.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.